Good morning, everyone. My name is Ilaria. I am the Project Management Director at Consorzio Italbiotec and Project Manager at the Lombardy Green Chemistry Association. I'm grateful for the invitation today to discussing market trends and development scenario of biochemical sector. It is indeed a booming market that has high potentiality to substitute fossil-based materials, making the economy more sustainable and reducing dependence on non-renewable resources. However, the state of evolution of biochemicals market in Europe is not uniform across application. Several factors affect the industrial validation and production of promising materials, as mentioned before in the very interesting presentation of the other speaker of today. Due to the complexity of challenges that the biochemical sector is facing, I have chosen to go through these topics by selecting some examples of European demo cases currently belonging on the Bioeconomy Pilot of the Vanguard initiative. First of all, I would like to spend some words about First of all, I would like to spend some words about the Lombardy Green Chemistry Association and the Vanguard initiative. Founded in 2013, the Lombardy Green Chemistry Association is one of the regional clusters of the Lombardy region, which in 2015 recognized it as a point of reference for the local bioeconomy growth. The cluster brings together the leading academic and industrial players operating in the Lombardy bio-based sector. And from 2016, it's all the technical coordination of the Bioeconomy Pilot of the Vanguard initiative. The cluster encourages the use of renewable biological resources to produce food, feed, energy, by supporting bio-based public and private investors in four main areas. Policy support, especially the smart specialization strategy implementation, business development and market uptake of the most promising business model, especially those that have inter-regional dimension, technology transfer and business opportunity creation, and finally, networking. Up to now, more than 50 innovators are members of the Lombardy Green Chemistry Cluster, active in four main value chains and gathering more than 50 projects funded by regional, national, and European funds. Inter-regional cooperation is indeed one of the keys to developing new value chains, new knowledge, share innovation, as well as offering opportunities for regional economic trading. In this context, the Vanguard initiative is an instrument to boost innovation across regions by supporting partnership creation, facilitating access to finance, and leverage public and private investment. The Vanguard initiative is an European association driven by a political commitment of 35 regions to use their smart specialization strategies to boost new growth through a bottom-up industrial approach in 5 European priority areas, such as bioeconomy, sustainable manufacturing, high-performance production through 3D printing, advanced manufacturing for energy, and new nano-enabling products. In the context of bio-based sector, the Bioeconomy Pilot of the Vanguard initiative contributes to enhancing inter-regional cooperation among industry and academia to boost innovation on bio-based sector by supporting the market uptake of the most promising business model. Co-led by Lombardy and Randstad regions, the pilot brings together 18 regions interested on increasing the impact of the bio-based sector locally, but also stimulate new inter-regional business opportunities across other regions in Europe, and also attract public and private investments. Up to now, 4 main demo cases are belonging to the Bioeconomy Pilot, that gathering 12 industrial cases, 18 regions involved with more than 50 million of capitals mobilized, and over 50 industries and RTO engaged. 4 main sectors are represented: lignin-based aromatic molecules, aimed at creating an interregional value chains for production of innovative materials; lignocellulose bulk and fine chemicals based on biorefinery concept; liquefied natural gas for sustainable mobility and greener heavy vehicle logistics; and finally, biopolymers, bioplastics, based on market pull approach. 12 use cases or industrial partnerships are part of this ecosystem with a very high level of maturity in terms of market penetration. Basically, they start from TRL5 and aims to reach the market, so means basically TRL7, 8 in a short term, so means basically by 5 years, so, starting from the middle point of testing. Exploring now the bio-based chemicals production across Europe through the recent JRC report, chemicals, polymers, coatings, surfactants dominate the European production. The transition of traditional industrial sector towards a greener, a more circular form of production is an essential step for competitive and sustainable growth. Those chemicals and adhesives production are expected to increase 10% per year by 2025. High costs on biomass conversion, and basically in the scaling up of advanced technology of conversion of biomass, as well as consumers' willingness to pay a premium for a certain greener products, are the main bottlenecks on the advanced of biochemicals sector in Europe. Certain kind of products or bio-based products can be more accepted by the consumer in terms of willingness to pay a greener premium, like for example for cosmetics or nutraceuticals. On the other hand, there are other products like solvents, lubricants, are not in the same position. So, as mentioned before my presentation by Road to Bio experience, we need to improve more, understand of benefits, real impact, and also increase the awareness about consumers in terms of benefits of shifting from a fossil-based to bio-based alternatives. Shifting on the bio-based experience in the context of bioaromatics molecules of biochemicals sector, the bioaromatics demo case aims at setting up a profitable way to produce functionalized aromatics starting from lignocellulose feedstock. Bio-based solution can make a significant contribution to realizing low carbon buildings and a sustainable built environment. As foreseen by the Green Deal, sustainable buildings and construction in general can play a pillar role on the transition toward a more sustainable production system. For this reason, the key advantages of using bio-based aromatics materials in construction or small building sector are the positive effects on the environment in terms of emission, use of resources and energy. The opportunity taken by the demo case is partial to the large-scale introduction of bio-based application made from bioaromatics into a selected range of application in construction or smart buildings environment, potential replacing fossil-based aromatics for specific application like roofing and structuring, wood applications, flooring, insulation. In these slides, I report on the right side of the slides some example of application like adhesive that, as mentioned before, together with surfactant, polymers for construction, together with fibers, starting from forestry-based residues, are among the most interesting potential application on bio-based sector. Among the most significant achievements obtained until now by the bioaromatics demo case, there is the Ligno Value Plant. The Ligno Value Plant is located in Flanders region and involves several industries operating in different European regions, gathering funds for the scaling up of the depolarization technology to deliver marketable quantity both of low and high molecular weight of lignin oils. The demo case is already achieved a very high level of industrial validation and is currently working on creating value chains with conversion facilities able to be replicated in other regions or create efficiency and efficient network across Europe. For example, in this sector, we are looking for companies interested across Europe, interested on testing this lignin oil and validate medium scale potential new application in other interesting segments of market. The time to market of large quantities, tons of lignin oil to allow larger quantity of marketable end products is 2 years. Between 2021 and 2024, this higher quantity permit further penetration in the market, new market segments, and create new value chains. Additional 2 use cases, so means partnership indeed, over the Ligno Value Plant are currently belonging in the bioaromatics demo case. On the right side of my slides, you can find the list of 3 use cases that are currently part of the demo case. Sugar to bioaromatics, starting from sugar line based on furans and yields aldehyde chemistry, leading to producing functionalized furans and aromatics, of course, Ligno Value Plants, and finally thermochemicals conversion of biomass to bioaromatics, leading mostly to bio-based BTX molecules. Overall, the demo case, gathering more than 20 regions in Europe among the Vanguard Initiative members, and leverage over than 43 million in public and private investment. During the 2019, we are starting working on candidate this demo case as a new partnership inside of thematic smart specialization strategies platform in order to increase the level of participation across Europe and also the gathering more funds able to scaling up the production of lignin oil. Lignin oil, or more in general, lignocellulose that include cellulose, hemicellulose, and lignin, is one of the most abundant biomass in Europe. And its production is expected to increase. Thus, there is a great potential for its exploitation for novel materials and products. I reported in these slides some statistics about the wood consumption in Europe, especially in the graph report on the right side of the slides. You can find the wood consumption of the Confederation of European Paper Industry in Europe from 1991 to 2018. As you can see, the percentage of softwood produced and then consumed was increased in a very significant way. On the left side of the slides, you can find the hardwood and softwood and wood consumption share on 2017 by species. So there is a very huge potential, but several challenges must be overcome in order to guarantee a real scalability of this model. First of all, lignin is one of the most recalcitrant molecules, and then it's not easy to perform a thermochemical or alternative RINER process for conversion, able to guarantee a profitable way to produce bioaromatics. However, the forestry-based, as you can see in these slides, is one of the most promising since abundant feedstock. During the last decades, biorefinery increased interesting not only among the region involved in the vanguard, more in general in Europe. I report here some example of last mapping of the number of biorefinery in Europe, respectively produced by Nova Institute and BBI. Of course, not all biorefinery plants are based on using lignocellulose feedstock. Most of them are indeed. And during the last period, especially during the last 5 years, we can look at very increasing number of plants in most of cases as a small and medium size that requires more effort, more investments in order to potentially overcome the value of debt of technology. This is the main bottlenecks. Up to now, in the lignocellulose biorefinery demo case, you can find 3 main use cases, so means 3 partnerships. The first one is focused on production of sugar from cellulose to produce bioasphalt, so a substitute, an alternative of bitumen, starting from hardwood and forestry-based or lignocellulose residues. The second one is a softwood-based biorefinery, focused on production of mixed sugar and panels from lignin. And finally, a local-for-local biorefinery. This is a partnership led by Slovenia region, based on small-medium biorefinery of wood. Slovenia is indeed one of the most rich in region in Europe in terms of forestry residues availability, and so they also have a great quantity of residues that's related to the pulp and paper industry. The idea of local-for-local biorefinery partnership is to produce fiber and syngas starting from hemicellulose and lignin fraction. Among the most relevant demo case achievements obtained in the last year, there is a Chaplin program. The Chaplin program aims to use lignin as a feedstock to produce an alternative of bitumen. The use of bitumen is a short and long term, is not sustainable in fact. With lignin asphalt, on the other hand, we contribute to transition to a circular and bio-based industry to lower CO2 emission. In the Chaplin program, we replace a large part of the bitumen in the asphalt formulation by lignin with a special bio-based formulation. In the Chaplin program, the participants are jointly committed to further developing lignin asphalt into a fully commercial, available, and specific products. In To do this, we try to stimulate in cooperation in the value chain and also by innovation and scaling up. In these slides, I report at the top of the slides the list of companies currently involved in the program. As you can see, most of them are based in south of Netherlands, but we are looking for new companies interested to join this program. And also I report the results of preliminary tests, real tests already done, with the name, road type, plate, kind of lignin used, percentage of bitumen substituted by bio-based solution. So also in this case, we are looking for companies interested to join the program and also share knowledge and the best practice in terms of optimize lignin formulation in order to guarantee a profitable way for production of bio-alternative bitumen products. In the next slides, I include a few insights about other two demo cases of the Bioeconomy Pilot of the Vanguard Initiative, focus on green mobility and biopolymers production, respectively. The use of compressed natural gas and liquefied natural gas, LNG, are concrete solutions both for car and for freight transport. Today, in Europe, 20% of CO2 emissions originate from road transportation. The LNG will play an increasing role in the competitiveness of natural gas and will allow to reach new markets, promoting the economy development of regions that are not yet equipped with modern energy systems. The Bioeconomy Pilot of Vanguard Initiative is strongly active in this field by promoting partnership creation in liquefied natural gas used for greener mobility. A new use case, it was launched in 2019, is named SM BioLNG, Sustainable Mobility BioLNG, or Shaping the Future of Sustainable Mobility. It is a partnership led by Lombardy region, in particular with the involvement of Gruppo Maganetti Spedizioni, is a truck logistic company. The business model aims to deploy a sustainable supply chain of liquefied biomethane from renewable sources, such as animal manure or agricultural residues, to produce biogas, then liquefy them, and build refueling stations across Europe. This business model is quite local, since we have to guarantee good connection and network between biogas production, liquefaction, and you put it into grid and then serve the station of LNG. But we are working on business implementation of this business model in order to become more sustainable and suitable for potential investor. At the same time, we are working on validate this model across the Vanguard members in order to guarantee an increasing of using of LNG or biological bio-LNG in the greener mobility and also in heavy vehicle logistics services. Finally, a new demo cases has been recently included in the pilot. It is focused on biopolymers production. 4 business models are part of these demo cases, respectively focus on biopolymers for medical application based on polyhydroxyalkanoates for medical device, basically production, biopolymers for fashion In this case, the business case is based on producing polyurethane to achieve synthetic leather from bio-waste, winery bio-waste. And also PLA from food waste, starting from bakery industry residues, and lignin derived by polymers for production fuels, chemicals, and materials. I report here some highlights about the 2019 achievements and the currently activities. As mentioned before, during the last year, we are working on increasing participation on the already existing demo case and at the same time promote the creation of new partnership. Two new partnerships were validate and deploy in the last year. As mentioned before, focus on syngas and fiber production, starting from forestry-based residues, and liquefied biomethane for heavy vehicle mobility. At the same time, we submit a business plan to the thematic smart specialization strategy in order to increase the participation on bioaromatics demo case participation. And also we designed a business plan for SM bio business case that can be successfully selected for technical assistance facility service. Now we are working on improvements this business plan in order to become more ready and interesting for private investors, and also in order to guarantee the opportunity to replicate this model in other regions. Interregional cooperation is for sure the main mission of the Bioeconomy Pilot. In this context, during the 2019, several cooperation or alliance were activate and carry out. Matchmaking events, webinars, seminars were organized, especially one-to-one meeting among the companies were organized in order to increase the participation of companies in the pilots, mapping new promising partnership and business model, and try to generate benefits at local level by the replication of this sustainable model. Among the major cooperation activated by the Bioeconomy Pilot, there is for sure the partnership with the Bio-based Industry Consortium. Especially one initiative is very valuable for the improvements of bioeconomy across Europe. This is the Bioeconomy Platform for Region. This is an initiative promoted by the Bio-based Industry Consortium and supported by the Vanguard Initiative, the Bioeconomy Pilot, the Vanguard Initiative. This platform helps better matchmaking between companies operating along the supply chain to find new business opportunities, to have insight and data available on the feedstock availability, learn more about the potentiality of some feedstock in order to testing its potential. This platform is also valuable for regions that can understand more trends, opportunities, bottlenecks, and market trends in order to update their smart specialization strategies or update their priority areas in order to meet the new trends and the new valuable example of sustainable business model across the bio-based sector. Here, I reported some activities that are already ongoing. First of all, we are looking for a new partner interested in join the linear value plants. As mentioned before, we are looking for companies interested on testing this material produced by the linear value plant. At the same time, we are working on increasing industry participation in other partnership in the demo. We believe that the better connection between all actors along the supply chain, starting from residues producers to the end user, must be a critical aspect in the general sustainability of the biochemical sector, since a better connection guarantee better accessibility and at the same time create new potential business opportunities for all actors involved in the supply chain, not only for chemicals industries, but also for agrochemicals sector agriculture producers. And finally, we are increasing overall participation in the pilot. So we are very interested on learn more about other example of business model by help them on defining a business model, a bankable business model, able to be interesting for private investors. Yeah, this is the end of my presentation.